folks, and welcome back to From the Desk of Wes. Only today, we're actually on my couch. If you're anything like me, you are so tired of seeing your kids on devices. Literally every time I turn around, I see this. So, with that being said, I thought up some ways to get them off of these devices and into something else. The caveat is, a lot of times keeping your kids busy means keeping you busy. And ain't nobody got time for that. I remember before I had kids, and I remember being like, oh my God, I'm never going to let my kids spend time on a tablet. And then I became a parent. It was just like, yeah, right, here, tablet, go. So let's be real about it. We all do it. There's no shame in your game, okay? I understand completely. But this is just to kind of get you out of that habit and finding creative ways around it in order to get them away from all of this screen time. How can we be creative in keeping them busy without also keeping me busy and without having to be involved or without something that could potentially burn your house down? Here are some ideas I hope you guys enjoy. Now, one of the things I like about the science kit is the fact that it's very involving and there's so many in there, so they'll be busy for a while. So I really do enjoy that. I do recommend that you do it like in a kitchen or somewhere where a spill wouldn't matter. You don't want to be dealing with a mess. It's funny because I got this for my 8-year-old for Christmas because she was running around the house wanting to use like my household goods to experiment with, and I was like, no, you're not waiting. Y'all know the price of groceries these days and the price of everything these days. So I was like, let me just get her a science kit for something designated for that purpose. So it actually really worked out. I do have a teenager, so I thought it would be nice for them to do it together. She was all, oh, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. And I made her do it and they ended up having fun. The next thing that I would recommend, and hear me out, puzzles. I know. Your kids are gonna be like, Mom, Dad, I am not trying to do nobody's puzzle. That sounds absolutely boring. They thought the same thing, but... Okay. Yeah. Show me a kid that doesn't want to do a puzzle, and I will show you a kid that will be absolutely into it the moment they start. Just trust me. Oh, I also learned some really interesting information about Canada.
Canada is the biggest state of United States.
Canada is the biggest state of United States.
Okay, I guess I've been thinking the wrong thing all this time, apparently. That was actually a really hilarious experience. That kept them busy for probably like an hour and a half. And that was just a 100-piece puzzle. Obviously, I'm gonna give the link for all this stuff in the description below. It actually ended up being interesting, and I came like at the tail end and helped them finish the puzzle, and it was actually really fun. It makes me cringe when I come out of the shower or I'm in the middle of cooking and I'm like, where are you guys? What are you doing? And they're like, oh, we're on our devices. And I'm like, what? But I'm a millennial. We played outside. Like, I could not get enough of being outside. I don't get it, but fine. Speaking of millennial, I am one of those parents that used to hate when my parents would say like really cliche stuff like, you need to read, go read a book. And I'd be like, girl, I'm not trying to read nobody's book. Like, no thank you. Until I was introduced to fun books and like all the fun book series, like Bailey School Kids. Y'all remember that? That was my jam. I ain't gonna hold you. That was my jam. So what did I do? Got them into Goosebumps. So I'm like, you guys, I'm hyping it up. I even got them to watch Goosebumps, like the show. I was a Goosebumps girly, to be honest. Instead of just barking to read, just introduce them to some of my favorites or just try to introduce them to the things I would have wanted at their age to keep me entertained. And at their age, I didn't have iPads and all that other stuff. But in the meantime, if you're working or doing a project or just want some alone time, it gives you that outlet where you're not like feeling guilty afterwards, like, oh my God, I just let my kids, you know, be on iPads for 2 hours. I think that's a really fun one. Kids are actually pretty simple. They're like miniature versions of us, but they still need motivation to do things. So if you make it a fun thing to do, then you're more likely to not get the huffing and the puffing and all of that. I try to make as many things fun as I can to create that motivation so that I'm minimizing fighting my kids to do things or yelling at them to do things. And it stresses me out. It becomes a whole challenge for me and them. So I try when I can to make it worth doing or to make it fun to do. It's not like it used to be where you can, well, at least I don't, just like send my kids outside to play, because now I don't need to say it. So honestly, I think that there's other ways to do it. Next is the more obvious thing. DIY arts and crafts. So you can get all your stuff off of Amazon like I did, or you can go to other hobby stores. Both of my daughters have Polaroid cameras and they can take pictures and put them into scrapbooks. I did purchase a bunch of construction paper, a scrapbook, some stickers, some other, there's a million things on Amazon that you can buy for scrapbooking. And then you can even break it up into categories. Like you can do a summer scrapbook, you can do a Christmas scrapbook, a cooking scrapbook. So the possibilities are endless. I had a birthday party for my 4-year-old son and he's really, really into Baby Shark. So I said, why don't we make the decorations? So let me show you what it looks like. Don't judge. These are the paper-made sharks that we did with our scrapbooking supplies. And this is just a Dollar Tree container with some sponges in it that's supposed to mimic coral. The first one I did, I was like, okay, I cannot. Let me just show you. This is terrifying. This is scary. This is horror movie Baby Shark. This ended up being like our 3rd round of baby sharks that looked the least terrifying as possible. And people loved it and they thought it was hilarious. Now this is more of a video geared towards what they can do without you. Now I am mindful that some of us have kids that are smaller, and I'll do a separate video on that, but this is more for school age kids. Think about summer break, especially if you work remotely and your kids are home all day. So that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video and my artwork. Maybe I should put this in a gallery. What do you think? As you know, you heard it here first from the desk or couch of Wes. Mwah. So what did you learn about Canada?
Canada is its own country.
All right, now we're getting somewhere.